Welcome back to Studio STL and today's Wellness Wednesday. I'm joined by Althea Burke, a certified life coach with day-defined health and life coaching with how to hack the brain for goal setting and stress management. Althea, thank you so much for being here.
It's my pleasure.
Let's first of all, stress. A lot of times it's something we just don't talk about, right? How big an issue is it these days?
I mean, it is a very big issue. It's important to talk about stress because, I mean, one of the things that I learned from participants who were involved in my women's well-being program is that when they know and understand that they're not the only ones experiencing stressful, tough moments, that helps to mitigate the stress. It allows us to see ourselves as humans, and it allows us to see ourselves as part of a human collective, right? And then from there, transformation and conversations about how to get better, how to be well can take place.
Yeah, and the denial is part of it, right? A lot of people, I don't have stress, right? It's written all over the face, but I'm not stressed.
I'm not stressed. Oh, yeah.
But you just getting it out there and dealing with, that's the first step to healing, right?
Absolutely. They say admitting there's a problem,
yes,
right, is the first thing. But a lot of us are in that that habitual phase of just doing and doing and going, and we don't recognize the things that are causing us stress until we take a moment, which we all experienced last year,
right,
and we're like, something doesn't seem quite right.
Something's off. Mm-hmm. All right, so admitting it's the first step.
Yeah.
Then how do we go about managing or dealing with our stress?
Well, I mean, it can depend on who you are, but one of my favorite brain hacks is the plate exercise, which we're going to, I guess, experience here today together. So the plate exercise, it's something that I've used in both goal setting and prioritization. It's conducive to working with stress management as well. And it allows people to categorize what they can and cannot control. And what that does is it allows for an immediate relief of mental pressure. People are like, okay, let me channel this positive stress into what I can control.
Right.
And let me, take action and move and leave alone what I can't control.
So here's what you're asking folks. They get a plate, right?
Right.
Draw a circle on it and a line down the middle, right?
Okay. Yeah, 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, regular piece of paper.
Yep.
And you're going to start by drawing a circle on the center of your plate. On one side of the plate or the circle, you have the heading, what I can control. On the other side of the plate, you have the heading, what I can't control. And the very first step is to do a brain dump. Just unload all of the things that have been causing you stress.
Yes.
Right? Taking care of aging parents, where you have to be, shuffling the kids to an activity. Maybe it is, work-related assignments. Let everything go. And then the next step is to assign all of the items in your plate to a category. And what you're going to start to notice is that your mind wants to believe a lot of the items under the I can't control column are things that you actually can control. So the
we think we can control more than we can.
We can't. You're exactly,
right.
Exactly.
And so admitting those things that we can't control and letting those go, not trying to manipulate them, and then putting our energy on what we can control.
Yeah, yeah.
And how do you encourage people to step into that? You do like a priority list, like hit certain ones first, certain things second, or?
Well, what people can do once they finish assigning the items from their plate under each category, then from there, and once they've kind of taken a sober look at what's under each list, then from there, if they want to take it the next step further, they can create some SMART goals around the things that they can control.
There you go. What's the first thing you would tell somebody, like, if they're stressed? I get the plate exercise, but is there certain preventative things they can do in their life to minimize stress going forward?
What would I tell someone about minimizing stress? Well, I think this plate exercise really captures the heart of stress management. Yeah. When we have these expectations on ourselves and on other people, that can exacerbate, that can cause chronic fatigue syndrome. It can create burnout because mentally you're on all the time, right? And so when we can come to the realization that everyone is the master of their own life and their own story, and my husband, my sister, my brother, what they do, I can't control, then we can really start to step back and be like, look at all the stuff that I have to deal with for my own life, to control my own life.
So good. Great first step. And admitting that you have a stress problem is the first step to getting a healing process started as well. Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
Althea Burke, life coach. Appreciate you so much.
Thanks, Tim.
You bet. Hey, keep it right here. We got more Studio STL coming your way after this.